So what is lead gen, Daniel? Let's talk about it. What is it? Why do we need it? Why does Bixley need it?
You're looking for somebody that has the unique problem that you have a unique solution for.
What is costing you the most right now?
Right.
Time and money.
The whole of their company is focused on this getting delivered.
So what is lead gen, Daniel? Let's talk about it. What is it? Why do we need it? Why does Bixley need it?
So it's looking for people who have the problems that you can uniquely solve. And the better you do that, the better you're able to find your next great client, customer, account, partner. That's lead gen.
So, I mean, there's good lead gen and there's bad lead gen, because you can just throw things and see what sticks at the wall, or you can have that more focused approach, which is obviously what you do.
It sounds so simple, but it's very hard to do, is putting the client's needs and focus first. Bixley's never lost sight of the fact that very often when we're working with someone on a project, it's the most important initiative for their business or this idea or their launch. This is the whole of their company is focused on this getting delivered. So there's a lot of responsibility there.
Yeah.
And it's our focus on being that success partner in not just saying it, but actually doing it is very evident from the first call, from the get-go. Exactly.
Because if you have a problem that gets fixed, and I'm the one that fixes it, we like continuing to do business together.
You build trust.
Right.
You have an idea of where you want to go, and you need a tour guide. You need somebody to help take you there strategically, and then also be able to execute at a high level. And that's I would say is the unique spot where Bixley sits. Is we're not going to let you develop yourself into a corner where it's been 6 months of development and there's been a lot of budget has been spent, but it's not what the client wants. And this is a frustrating experience that other places would do, is they say, well, we're just doing what you told us.
Just doing what you told, yeah.
And we don't do that. We don't allow that to happen.
No. It doesn't help, like you said, build that long-term relationship.
Right.
No one likes to continue to be around a person that lets them just keep stepping in the muck and the mire, for lack of a better term. Like if you're walking down the street with a buddy, he sees something that he knows you shouldn't step in, and he just doesn't say anything about it. Yeah, you laugh it off, like, oh, it's funny.
Right.
The second time, it's not as funny anymore, and the third time, you're like, dude, these are new Nikes. Like, stop.
Some of my favorites are when we bring in a new client and they start with a dev part-time.
Yes.
So like the smallest.
Right. Was the lowest commitment that I can do to kind of test you guys out.
And we get it.
And we're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are some of my favorites, because I know in about 3 or 4 weeks, it's going to be 4 devs.
They're going to say, are they available for 40 hours?
Right.
Not just the 20? And so on and so forth.
And I think that's, for me, the reassuring part with talking to new clients and new potential clients is so many other places want all of this guaranteed upfront capital. And us saying, no, we'll start where you're at. We'll meet you where you're at. And you get our team's insight. One of the benefits particularly of our team is when you get a dev, when you get a resource, they have worked on things similar to your project before. That's how we sort of allocate the talent.
Sure.
On top of that, you get their resource of having delivered on 50, 100 different deadlines. And so there's not only is there a technical knowledge there in terms of building software, but there's also an industry and a best practice knowledge that you get where, again, we're not going to let you develop yourself into a corner. Even at the lowest price point, where they're going to, our team is going to say, hey, you maybe want to consider these other things.
I've even had leads that have come and talked about a specific project with me. I've essentially unsold them from doing that.
Yeah.
And then they were like, sort of confused, maybe walked away, but then suddenly circle back like a year later with the better idea that actually makes sense in the market at the time, and all the pieces fit together. And then we walk them through how to do it, and they're like, and we've even joked, could you imagine if we had been working with each other for a year already on that one bad idea over there that you had did like, and I'm like, no, because we wouldn't be working together. You would have been really, really mad at me.
No, you're right. It's well, and this gets back to the uniqueness.
Yeah.
So many people, so many, customers, clients, accounts, they hate the sales process.
Yes.
Because they know they're getting lied to.
Yeah. And they know
we can do that
too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that. 3 weeks, $50, right?
Yep.
Like they know they're getting lied to. And so, Bixley's made this strategic decision early on, and it's a cornerstone of the company, is being forthright and being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so it stands apart in the client decision-making process. We understand they're evaluating us between a number of different agencies.
Sure.
And like you said, sometimes we will disqualify them, but it helps them so much. They go back and they get either their budget was too low, so they go get the money they need, but now they know, or they reprioritize features, launch dates. But who do they come back to? They come back to us.
Yep.
Because it's sad because so many folks are not used to hearing one shred of truth from the sales process.
Correct.
And that is one of those key areas where we're different. And very often we'll say, hey, look, if we're not a good fit, we're gonna be the first to tell you. And we will introduce you to people who we think are a better fit.
Perfect. So as we're wrapping up here, we've obviously talked a bit about just lead generation in general. We've obviously sold why Bixley is amazing and awesome to work for. And there's a likelihood that people watching this video, that's what they came in here for. Simply because I have you here, obviously you have years of experience in the lead gen space. For someone that maybe came across us that is in a particular space as you or myself doing lead generation, what's the one kind of pro tip without giving away the secret sauce? Like what has kept you excited about lead gen or something that excites you right now in the space?
Well, it'll save everyone a lot of headaches. It's the number one thing that people are scared of when it comes to lead generation is what's known as disqualifying.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're selling soda or big ticket development projects. 99% of people are not going to buy from you. And so don't waste your time.
Got it.
Figure out who your best buyer is and only go after them. Only go after the folks who are going to be the best buyer ever. It will save you and everyone else so much time and frustration. And how you can, a quick way that you can discover it is look at your own clients from the last 6 to 12 months, right? And what you're going to see is a similarity, whether it is a particular vertical or an income level or a company size or a job title. You take these aspects and you combine them and you begin to build, in the industry what's known as an ICP, an ideal client profile. Yep. And you might have a couple different ones. You have your top one, 1, 2, and 3. But that is what I would say is the number one thing that you can do for effective lead gen is so many people think it's about convincing someone.
Yeah.
And unsuccessful lead gen efforts do that. They try to convince someone versus finding someone who already has a need and meeting that. And when you have that mindset shift, your efforts become much more effective. And you don't hate your life as much. So
that's good. Well, I appreciate you, Daniel, obviously taking the time to connect with us. For those of you, obviously, that are interested in working with myself, obviously having conversations with Daniel, we look forward to hopefully having you guys be the ideal client because, that's who we want to work with. So I hope it is you. Thanks, Daniel.
You got it.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Bixley Tech Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Chris and Daniel as they talked about lead generation for tech companies, and particularly how we like to match up our services and what we can provide with the unique needs of our clients, and making sure that's a really great fit for a long-term partnership. If you have any questions about what they talked about today, go ahead and leave those in the comment section down below. In addition, you can find a link to our custom software guide in the description of this video, and that will help you get started on planning out your next project. You can also get a free hour consultation free with Chris by going to our website and clicking that Validate My App button. Until next time, this has been a Bixley Tech Tuesday.